Welcome back, folks. It's been a while since I've done one of these. The reason I've been building a new website, and it's full of paintings. It's got, I think, about 55 on now, all different paintings. And if you want to visit it, of course, it's norfolkskies.co.uk. It's as simple as that. But anyway, to today's painting, what I'm doing is, I live in Cromer, as you probably know. And this is a view from the east side of Cromer, where my daughter has got a sort of a beach hut, and we were invited down for a barbecue one evening, and it went, and it was a beautiful evening after the lockdown and before we started on this again. But the sunset. Absolutely stunning, because you can see the sunset and the sunrise at Cromer on the pier there. So what I'm trying to capture today is that scene I saw. I took a photograph of it when I came off the beach at Cromer, and let's capture it again, shall we, on this way. The colours today, folks, are raw sienna, Alizarin Crimson, and a pot of ultramarine, a French ultramarine, and burnt umber mixed together. So it's quite a strong mix, that, because I want this portion here. This portion here is a silhouette, because it's backlit. The sun's setting over there. This is beach here, and a bit of water there, and the tide's out, and this man's exercising his dog and that. And it's just a lovely scene. So. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we go, shall we? Let's have a go. The colours are there. I'll move them now because you've seen them. And put them out of the way. And let's get cracking. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to wet the paper with my little brush. This is the one that Carol wants me to do the kitchen with. It's quite a beast, it is, but it's good for covering areas. I hope you enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to it. Right over everything, wet it through. Because the first wash that's going on here is a wash of the sky colour, because the other portions will cover it because they're darker, so don't worry about that. So it's like just paint it all over and then forget it. Well, don't forget it, but we'll deal with it then. That's just clean water, that. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is dip into the raw sienna, and let's go across here, the sky. It's a pretty flat view across that sky. It's beautiful, it was. Take it right down across here as well. Show it to the boss. This, I think, is lesson 44. I forgot to mention that, by the way. That's our nice wash of raw sienna. Right. Let's, on top of that, let's go with this Alizarin Crimson, another beautiful colour. Just keep it flowing across. You're covering the other one, so the one showing below it, you see, because Alizarin Crimson is transparent and the raw sienna is transparent. So you'll get a view of both of them as we go down. Right, I want a bit to get more colour down here near the pier where the sun is setting. Don't forget these colours dry 50% lighter, so don't worry about it. And then I think down there at the top, I think I'll have a touch more. I'll darken that red a bit there at the top. I love painting things like this because I never know what I'm going to finish it with. Sometimes you get a lovely surprise, and other times you get a right pig's ear, a right mess, sorry. But we'll see how we go. And don't forget, if you make a mess of it, just turn the paper over and have a go on the other side. Simple as that. I'll turn the brush around just to give one or two streaks in there. Near the top, I think what I'm going to do at the top there is that dark colour. I've got the mix of the ultramarine and burnt umber. Just going to put a touch of that in the top to just to darken that top for me a little bit. This piece here. Let's just bring that top over a little bit. Just a touch more. Just a touch. Just gently touching it in. It's drying on me, see, so I'm just gently able to put one or two little streaks in as the sun's setting. Nothing too much, just a whisper of it. And of course down the base here, the base near the front of the picture, it's a bit dark down here as well. So I'm going to darken that piece as well. Right, nothing, stop fiddling. We needed drying because it was quite wet all over. Right, one thing I didn't point out to you was you might see one or two dots on this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some little dots here. Now what they are is, I've tried to represent, because this is dark, this area, and these are sparkling lights, hopefully, which is caught the light, obviously, the lamp post and things like that, and sort of lights on the pier there, which will sort of reflect, won't they? So that'll take away the dullness of all that there. So what I want to try and do now is paint this area here, which is in silhouette, including the pier, along there. And there's the horizon line, of course. So let's try that next, shall we? We've got this brushing. And I want to use that colour we've used up there, the mixture of that ultramarine and burnt umber and that. But I want it to be quite dark, so let's see if I can get a good mix of dark on that. Hopefully we can. Just test it on a piece of paper. See if it's sort of dark enough. That seems alright, that. We'll try that and see how we go. So we start up here. This is where the silhouette is there. Follow the silhouette down there. This is actually the silhouette of the town of Cromer. In fact, this piece I'm just painting now is the Hotel de Paris. Just there, it's got a little tower on it there. In fact, I'll put a smaller brush on that because to get around it. Hotel de Paris. It's got a little dome there, which is quite nice. And living here, but it's so familiar to me. It's lovely. In fact, just off picture to the left there is, of course, St Mary's Church in Cromer. Gorgeous church, absolutely gorgeous. The tower is so stunning. It hits you to come into the town. It's a fantastic sight. Right, it's got that outline there. Just continue this down. I've got masking fluid on those little dots there, which is protecting the lights. I'll put a little bit of a dot in there as well in the sky. I don't want that. You see it? Shows you how things can go wrong. Then it comes down here. I'll use the little brush again. I'll use a smaller brush so I get on that detail bit there. Right, I'll pop this brush down for a bit now, and let's try this small one just to get me around that tricky bit on the corner there. A little straight bit there. Must get the silhouette right, or they won't think it's Cromer. We love living in Cromer. We've lived here in Cromer. We've lived in Norfolk about nearly 40 years, but in Cromer itself it's about 11 years now, and it's the best move we've ever made. It's absolutely beautiful. For me, I mean, I might be antisocial, but I like it when all the tourists have gone and we've got the town back to ourselves, and I'm a bit selfish that way, I suppose. And I can walk on I used to be able to walk on the pier and the pitch and the pier and the beach and all that, and because this COVID's put a stop to everything, hasn't it? We don't know what we can do. Well, you must be positive. We must be positive. We'll get through it. Link across there. Then just there, I'll stop round there because there's a gap there, and then you can see the sun from under it. This is it comes down there. It comes across there. Some fiddly bits here, so take your time with them. And of course then down below there's stanchions, all the pier up. They're a bit tricky as well. But you can do it. I know you can. Full confidence in you. This piece goes right across here. This piece I'm painting now, it might not look much, but this is the playhouse on the theatre, on the pier, and the end of the pier show, which is most famous. It's one of the last end of the pier shows in the world, and they put on some fantastic shows every year. And well, until they stop people going to them, this blooming COVID is a damn nuisance. But we'll get back. We'll get back. We'll be all right. And it's just lovely. It's a lovely sort of little town theatre. There's some wonderful. In fact, I remember some time ago, Bradley Walsh. He appeared on this show. You know, when he first started. Now look what he's doing. But the main thing is, enjoy yourself. Just dip that piece down there, that comes down there. And this piece I'm doing at the end there is the lifeboat housing. This is where they keep the lifeboat now. They used to have it over on the left here some time ago, but now that they're really posh and they've got it on the end of the pier. And whenever there's any trouble, they open the gates in front of the, of course there's a ramp, this ramp which goes down there, and that is launched the lifeboat, and they've saved hundreds and hundreds of people here. It's most famous, that lifeboat, and the crew are very brave men. Henry Bloggs in the past, he's a national hero. This was when they used to, I think, row them out, you know. But now they've got all the posh engines and all sorts of it. It's really, really smart. But it still takes some time to go out there, I'll tell you. I mean, the other day we had this storm, and I can just imagine being on the sea and that. Oh, horrible. That goes down to the water's edge, or down into the water actually. We'll just get this leveled up slightly down there. And then there's these stanchions going down, so I have to try and be careful on this. And then these I'll get a smaller brush here. This is part of the sand and that which comes down to the sea. What have this coming down here? Get a bit bigger brush on that. As we come down this side here. Right, get a smaller brush still. Let's get some of these, see if we can get some of these little stanchions in. I'm trying to pick them best I can. Shall we go with that? That's these things here. A little chisel brush helps on this. That's the difficulty if your hands are a bit shaky. Of course, if you're right-handed, start at the left and work your way across. A little touch there. Of course, this holds everything up, you know. It's amazing how many stanchions there are. Yeah, but it's quite interesting. I've been to that show sometimes, and the sea's been a bit rough. As I've walked on the promenade, or the pier, I've seen the sea coming up through the planks on the pier. Interesting. But the show must go on. Mind you, there's a few more hanging onto this here. We're getting there. It's a bit fiddly, this bit. A bit boring, if you like. But you can do it. Right, so that's about the pier. There's a booking office at the end, and a sort of cafe and a thing like that. And this is just a sort of a place where it's double-sided, and you can sit in there away from the wind. And there's seats all around here. And you know, we get fishermen and all that all around this pier. And I can honestly say, in 10 years, I've never seen anybody catch a fish yet. But I might be a bit of a pessimist. But it's lovely to see the children when they come up and where they go crabbing. And the crabbing, it's fantastic. It really is. Those crabs have been caught that many times. But it's lovely to see them. In fact, I think some of the crabs have got numbers on them. That's how many times they've been caught. That's just anchoring that down with it's low tide, you see. We're getting the impression of that out to the river's edge. That's it, a bit of flicking on there. I might go over that again to give it a bit more strength, that coat of silhouette, if you like. I want it a bit darker than that. I thought it was dark enough, but it's not. When I put another coat on there, it looks much better. I'll leave that top bit and do it with a small brush. That's it. Just these twiddly bits around here, where the Hotel de Paris is. You get a lovely meal in there, quite reasonably priced as well. 3-course meal. I think it's about 16 or 17 quid. And of course, Cromer's famous for catching crabs and lobsters, and there's some beautiful crabs caught, and fresh crab from Cromer. There's nothing like it, absolutely nothing. I must be honest, I don't like crab, but most people do. Now just this silhouette here, in amongst this silhouette there's also a chappie with his dog here. I'll leave that till later, and but he's got nice reflections and stuff like that. Now I want to put the water in there. I don't want to show it too strong, but I think we'll do it a little bit. Let me see now. I'll mix a touch of stuff here that's not too. Because the colour of the sky is on there as well. It should look better with. That's better. Right, so we've got this This is the sea. And I'm purposely leaving some bits there where the light is catching it and catching the waves, if you like. So that's what that is, in case you think I've missed a bit. That'll do. Just don't want too much detail in that. Let's see if we can get some suggestion of reflection in here. In this water. If you do it the same colour, it'll look like it's part of it, and it'll look wrong. So let's just put some of that in. Let's just give it a touch of reflection there. And also what we've got to get here is just about here. We're going to get a reflection of that silhouette of the Hotel de Paris, or put a touch of reflection in there. See if we can just suggest it round here. Do it with a smaller brush, if I can find one. That'll do. Talking about just about here. We don't want it too much, or to jump out at us. So this is wet sand, all this here. You might see some of this down here, just a touch. I don't want to get carried away with this. And a bit out just here. That with a chisel brush, I think. That'll do, stop fiddling. Stop fiddling. Right, let's hold on. Now I want to take out some of these little dots of... I've always had the urge for the sea. I love the sea. It's it just fascinates me, and I'm drawn to it. Well, we've done lots and lots of cruises, and we haven't paid, you know, we have worked, and we've done eight world cruises, which was bring around the world 8 times. We're a bit dizzy. So, but we'd love the sea. Smooth sea, calm sea, rough sea, you name it. It's lovely. So this is a sort of a light formation along the pier there. And of course, I want to put some colour in these because they're coloured lights, some of them. And on the beach here, I've left some white bits here, which are hopefully reflection of the lights. You see, when you're doing these things, if you're a beginner or anything like that, try and plan these things before, because it's a bit difficult to put them in afterwards. Though of course you can get round it by doing it with an opaque white. The gouache, you can do it with that. But if you've got the paper nice and clean and white, it looks even better. Please have it with your nails, mind. Taking some grain off this. It's a bit stubborn. So I think we're alright there. We've got something sorted out. Right, little brush. Let's get some colours in on these lights here. I always like a red one. So I'll have a red one somewhere in there. I'm sure we will. They have these fairy lights and stuff like that, don't they? On the pier and on the entrance there. On this one. This little one, some on the booking office, and then of course I want to put in some some yellow lights in, shall we? They go down well. This is cadmium yellow I'm using. And the reason I like cadmium yellow because it is an opaque colour. In other words, it will cover something dark that's below it, which is a bit handy. It's all very useless. See if we get some of that there. Right, so we'll try and be a bit careful here. On the pier. Whether we'd see it's on the slope, so whether we'd see a touch of light in the water, I don't know, but we'll put some in just to be pinicky, shall we? Just a suggestion. About here. I won't see them because I think it's in darkness. Staying with the yellow. dirty bit there. I'm going to have a crow there, or a seagull anyway. Yeah. Now this chap here is a silhouette. He's enjoying his stuff with the sea and that and the. So let's put this chap in, shall we? There's nothing nicer than if you've got a dog, just when the tide's gone out and the sand is wet, and throw a ball for the dog. They love it. Just be a bit careful around his head. No detail on him, just he's a silhouette, he is. Nice and steady, there's his arm. Way down there. There's his trousers. Don't start putting him different coloured shoes on and stuff like that. And then the dog. The dog is here. Little dog. We'll put a reflection in. Don't want it too strong. Well, I'm just sticking out a bit there. Because if you do that, you've got to put in the reflection as well, haven't you? So that comes about there. So around, what shall we do next? We want that bird in here, don't we? It's a nice brush for this. A little twiddly brush, that'll do. That'll be silhouetted. In fact, we'll slip some in here. And then another one somewhere else, look for a dodgy bit in the sky. Oh, there's one bit, I'll move that. One about here. I'm fiddling now, so I'm going to stop. Well, that's all for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do, give us a like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. But until then, it's goodbye. Goodbye.